Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. I want to do a video today talking about a concern of privacy that's coming up recently in Canada for the citizens of Canada, namely that Stats Canada has begun a quote-unquote legal acquisition of personal financial data of some number of millions of Canadians. It's unknown exactly how many Canadians, but there are about 35 million Canadians, and it's thought that, well, it's known that TransUnion, which is a credit agency, a consumer credit reporting agency, which means that they track your credit. They do this for like 30 or 40 countries across the world, including America, including Canada. And so they track when you buy things on loan, whether it's a car or a home, when you make your payments on, things like your cell phone, when you don't, and they give you a credit score. And then they use that data, they compile that data, and then they sell that data to businesses that want to ascertain whether you're a good risk or not. So they monetize you and they monetize your private data, which frankly, I'm not sure why that's legal, but it is, and they've existed for decades, and they do that. They provide that service for businesses so that businesses can make educated decisions on whether or not to lend you money. And the government of Canada has tapped into that resource through Stats Canada by demanding the release of private personal financial data that they keep, and TransUnion released that information. So at this point in time, the Canadian government through Stats Canada has acquired data that is absolutely personal and financial, and I'm concerned about it. And so I wanted to talk about that, and I wanted to, I guess, see what you guys think about that. Do you have concerns about privacy, or where do you land on this? Big brother watching us type conversation, because that's what it feels like to me. It feels like a 1984, Big Brother event where they're collecting personal financial data on what you're spending, where you're spending it, how you're paying or not paying, and now they're approaching the banks. This all came out through a global news break, I guess, and you can find online resources. I'll link one of the videos in the description below from Global News, where they kind of discuss the significance of this revelation, but it wasn't made public by the government. It wasn't made public by TransUnion. It's my personal data. Why are they able to share it without asking me for permission? And that's the argument that people are raising. It's my personal information. Why can they share it without my approval? And the government's saying, well, we just can, because we need that information so that we can make sound economic decisions, which is bull. And if you know what I know about inflation and quantitative easing, you know that what that really boils down to is the government wants to be able to inflate the economy successfully, forcing you to spend your savings, and they can't maximally do that if they don't know where you've got your money, how you're saving it, and when you finally start spending it. So they want to track everything so that they can jury-rig the economy to continue inflating and growing by way of really twisting your arm into spending, which is what inflation is. So this is getting to be a big topic, and I don't want to go very long in this video. I've mentioned inflation, I've mentioned, the government acting as big brother, I've mentioned privacy and, credit assessment and monitoring. There's lots of big topics there, but I really want to focus on just the one issue of, as I guess a rebuttal to what I'm seeing is the justification for this privacy invasion. First of all, I do see this as a privacy invasion. It's my personal data. I should have to agree to your release of that data, whether it's TransUnion, whether it's Equifax, whether it's my bank. I should have to agree that the government can have my data. It doesn't matter if the government wants it. It doesn't matter if it'll help the government. I don't believe it'll help me personally, and so I would say no, you can't have it if I had a choice. And here's the kind of main point I want to make. The criticism that major players and like the media are making around why it should be okay for them to have that information is this. Listen to this quote. This is from the Globe and Mail, which in Canada is a big news publication. It says, and he's responding to the idea that the title of the document of the article is called "There is nothing Orwellian about collecting accurate real-time data." And so you can see his position is that we should just share our information willy-nilly. I completely disagree, but listen to his argument. The truth isn't nearly as sinister as people make out. Rest assured, the government is not plotting a massive surveillance campaign to find out what you ate for lunch or your monthly mortgage payment. Aren't they? If they're asking my bank for information about where I'm spending my money and how I'm storing it and saving it, they are asking for that information exactly. And maybe I didn't make this clear, the government is currently soliciting banks for that data right now in Canada. He goes on, guess what? Ottawa already has your social insurance number because it gave it to you, and it has your tax returns. Oh, okay, so because they have some of my information, they should be allowed to all of it. The government does, however, need better data to provide a complete and accurate portrait of Canada's economy and society in real time. As part of a modernization of its operations, StatsCan wants banks, cell phone companies, retailers, and other companies to share more of the so-called big data they have and leverage them for the quote-unquote collective public good. Do you hear that? That's crazy. They want my data for the collective public good. Shouldn't I be allowed to say whether my personal data, including financial data, is permissible within their reach? Apparently not. Apparently I don't own my own data. Apparently I don't own my own history and actions. It's just a public record that the government can touch and grab and take. That's terrifying to me, because it's this type of infringement on privacy that leads to bigger infringements and cell phones being tapped and the government, getting into what Alexa or Siri or Google, have on me. People make it out like privacy is something that you can just surrender now. Little bits of it don't matter, but one day we'll stand up for privacy and we'll say, government, you're going too far. That's not how it works. You either stand up for privacy, or let me put it this way: you either stand up for what you believe in every day for your entire life, or you never do. People who make out like it's okay to allow privacy invasions to some because it doesn't personally affect you today are slitting their own throats, because down the road Big Brother comes for your data too. And this is me talking from Canada, where Canada, we live in a relatively free and relatively prosperous nation. But, one day, maybe decades, maybe hundreds of years away, this nation might not be as free as we see it being now. In fact, I would argue it's not as free as many people think currently. But one day in the distant future, it might be an Orwellian state. And do you want that Orwellian state having your personal information? Where do you store your money? How much do you have? When do you spend it? Where do you spend it? Why do you spend it? Because I don't want them having that information. I don't trust Big Brother. I don't trust my government. I don't trust the banks. I don't trust TransUnion Credit Agency. The more that any institution or body can collect information or data on me, the more I'm concerned for my future. Let's put it that way. And I think we all should be. Collective good, for the collective public good, they say. And one last thing. The article concludes with this thought. Um, I already know what you. If you're seriously concerned about letting others see your financial records, shipping habits, and internet surfing behavior, well, the horse left the barn a long time ago. As if to say, because some of my privacy has been lost due to, government interference or meddling or monitoring or bank or big data collection, that I should just sacrifice all of it. That's my point. These people believe that, if we're in for a penny, we're in for a pound, and I disagree. I disagree wholeheartedly. There's a line in the sand, and we should be, as owners of that personal information, should be allowed to say where that line is. And just one last point on this topic before I leave it up to you guys in the comments below. This is why cryptocurrency is exciting. This is another reason why blockchain is innovative, revolutionary, and exciting. Because through blockchain technology, you can see a decentralized storage of personal data like credit history, like financial records, which prevent governments or corporations or malicious parties from stealing that data, collecting it, monetizing it, and stealing it. There's a company called Bloom, which is a cryptocurrency token, BLT. And that's exactly what they aim to do. They aim to decentralize and internationalize credit data storage. So your credit rating would be stored internationally, which is new and revolutionary, and on the blockchain, which is new and revolutionary. It would therefore be more secure, less susceptible to hacking or theft, and absolutely less susceptible to government infringement, as we're seeing here in Canada today. So this is alarming to me. I wish more people were alarmed by it. I don't know if I'm not hearing anybody talking about it. So what do you guys think about that? Are you worried about privacy? Would you worry about the government collecting your personal financial data? And if so, if not, why? Like, what do you really believe it's for the public good? Let me know in the comments below. Find me on steemit.com @infidel1258. Thank you so much, guys, for your time and attention. Please like and subscribe. Have an awesome day. Bye.